Hi everyone, welcome back to this channel. In this video, I'm going to show you a quick walkthrough on how to create an app in Android Studio for Android devices, utilizing the capability from ChatGPT or Android Studio bot. So if you're not aware, there's a new features added to Android Studio, which has the Studio bot. And StudioBot is very similar to the AI platform like ChatGPT, where it helps developer like me that needs a jump start in Android Studio to really jump into Android Studio development quickly. So you can actually download this from the website, and just remember, go with Jellyfish version, Canary build, and how it looks like is this. So this is after installation, and how to call that out is go to View, to Windows and StudioBot. So this is how the StudioBot look like here. Put it down. Put it this way, so you can see it's really like a ChatGPT format. For example, if you want a quick answer, you can just type in show me the code of browse PNG file and user click on browse button. So everything will be shown to you, but before that you have to sign in to become a developer for this Android Studio. So I'm sure you're familiar with that, the process, how to install, how to sign up as a developer. So I won't use this as a platform because there are times that this Studio bot will not show me the code because for whatever reason. It could be the server is too busy, it could be that I hit the limit of the day. I won't cover much on this today on Studio bot, so let's just close this. And sorry, it's on the view, close that, and let's minimize it. Let's go back to what I plan to show you today on the video. So let's say I want to measure the coverage area of my Wi-Fi signal across my home, and I want to use Android's device to walk around the house, and at certain part of the house I just click on the Android device and it will measure what is the power level for the Wi-Fi. So with that, I know roughly which area of my home is the blind spot because it will show a very low power, and if I'm very close to the wireless access point, I'll see the higher power. But I won't cover everything in one video. So the first video is mainly just to create a browse button and also to load the floor plan onto the image view. So this is how it look like, and I will start from scratch again. Let's go to new project. Let's try an empty activities. So I name my application as my new Wi-Fi measurements 00. I choose to develop in Java because that's the language I'm familiar with, and you can choose any other version that you want to, but I stay with version R, and I make sure that I'm using the build Gradle, not the Kotlin version, which has its own problem, but I will go to that. So once I'm done, so I just click finish and I'll move this away. So this is how it looks like, my new Wi-Fi measure 00. So this is the default how it looks like. I'm going to run a quick testing without any changes to the interface because I want to see whether it works. So this is the default interface. Hello world. I'm pretty sure you're quite familiar with how to start the device. So let's see, is there any device running? There's none, so let's move it here so that you can see what's going on here. Let me tidy up this part. And we're going to start a device. So I won't go into this how to set up a virtual device because there are many other YouTube channels that do a better job than me in explaining it, but in essence this is how it looks like, my device. So I have 10-inch tablets that I want to emulate, and these are the settings that I have, and I'll start the device. So just click on this start button and we can minimize it, and then we have this thing called the view. Let's see, I'm on the device explorer now. Yes, So why I need this device explorer is similar to file management. I want to put in a floor plan, a PNG format floor plan into this virtual device so that I can press the button, the browse button, and then I can find the floor plan and load it up. So what I'm doing here is, okay, it's under storage, and then I put it under picture. This is a screenshot that I've created on my computer and I dump it over there. How do I do it is just highlight this picture and then you see that there's an upload button. Once you click that, it will show you the local computer's file explorer. So this way you can choose the PNG file to be uploaded to this virtual machine. Okay, once you've done that, we can close this and let's try run. The reason I want to run it before I put in my code is to eliminate any version conflict in the version prior to this jellyfish or even iguana. The Gradle versions sometimes just conflict with the versions of Android that you want to build, and then it does cause a lot of problem. So to me, the best practice is that before I spend a lot of time in coding and then add on to a lot of potential issue, so I'll try to run it first so I can see hello world here, so it's fine. So it means that the Gradle versions are correct, there's no conflict, everything is done correctly, which is good. So we eliminated one possible issue. So I'll stop it. So the next thing I want to do is to create a graphic user interface. Let's remove this hello world. And I want to add in a button and image view. So I'll pull this over here. And so again, this is how Android Studio works. If you have a button or any of that interface that you created, it tends to move about, especially when you change from portrait to landscape, and this is like a spring that it will try to maintain at the locations that you want it to be. So this is what I'm doing right now. So I just tie it to the space, the margin away from the bottom part of that interface, things like that. So we have a button, we have image view. So there are a few things that you can change right now. You can change the attribute, which is much more stable in this jellyfish version. I found if you change any of that ID or even the tags inside, this is much more stable than to change it in code. I will leave the image view as image view. The button, I'll change it to btn browse. So I will change this name to browse. So reflector. So we have everything done correctly. And again, I'm going to try it out, test it, just to make sure that my virtual machine is able to show that. So we have a browse button, which is not linked to any actions yet. Okay, that is a good start. So once we've done that, nothing much to change in activity main and main activity.java. Just for information for the new developer. So activity main is to determine how the interface look like. Main activity.java is where your core code resides. So these are the process that is going to happen. And one more thing that you have to be aware of is manifest. So in manifest, for example, if you want to access to files, to Wi-Fi, to locations, this is where you set the permission. I'm going to show you how I get all this information from. So I'm going to change this. Yep. So this is ChatGPT 3.5. As you can see, just sign up, and I actually asked ChatGPT, show me a sample code of Android Studio where user can use the browse button to select a PNG file to show in the image view. So we have to be precise. So this is how it looks like. So when you say in Java, so chances are this is in the main activity. So I just copy the code and then I will put in main activity. So one thing to be aware of is that keep the package, the first line intact, don't overwrite it. Control V. This is a common error because this is linked to the activity main XML because there is no ID name after the button browse. So if you remember, we changed the button browse to BTN browse. So this is where you're going to change that. And then another common error that I've learned through is that if you don't declare any of this, and even if you click, what will happen is that your apps will break in the device and it won't show up anything. And then I'm going to show you how to find that error. We try this first, see whether it works. So we just click that, and let's say browse, and recent, let's go to image, picture. So it doesn't show anything. Okay, that is good, because from here we learn more. So it could be that we haven't set permissions to read external file. So this is where you have to add in user's permission under XML, which it says under Android manifest. So let's go to here. We don't write anything into the device yet, so we can actually bypass this write external storage for now. Let's try again, see whether it will work. So I'm gonna close this because this is running still. So close this. I'll try to run again. So we have this thing called logcat. So this is a very good debug tool where you can see what's going on with that. So it still doesn't work, which is alright, because this is where we're going to learn. So we check back on the ChatGPT, everything is done correctly. I noticed that if we use this open file chooser, which is the intent is separate from the core, it tends to have this problem. So I asked ChatGPT again, instead of using open file chooser, can we go straight to use intent in the core? So this is a copy, and I'm going to change that. So there's nothing wrong with any of the setup. If not, you start seeing all the warnings and error in logcat. So again, logcat is always good to turn on when you want to see what's wrong with your code when it's running. So I already copied the code, and I'm going to overwrite over here except for the first line. So I'm going to change this to BTN brown, and we run. Oh, I want to close this first just in case. Okay, I might have closed the wrong apps. So try again, let's browse, and there we go. So we have browse, and then we select the right file, and then we present it in the image view. So this is the first of that video, and the next video I'm going to show you how I can add dots towards the image, and then with that, every dot that I press, zoom in. So for example, if I walk to the lounge meals area, I go to this corner and I click on this screen, and it will start measuring the Wi-Fi signal. This is the first part of the video. Thanks for watching.